Hi everyone, Bernard here. I hope you're all staying safe and well, and welcome to the Film and TV channel. And today we have a drama review, an Amazon Prime thing that's released on April the 9th, 2021. So I'm recording this a few days, well, 3 or 4 days later. Yeah, so we're going to have a look at a premiered on Prime Video horror drama anthology series. There we go. This is called Them. Please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscribe button. Push the bell notifications if you try and inform and entertain, and these little reviews and TV drama reviews, film reviews. I do information vlogs, what's out to buy, quizzes, what's coming on at the cinema even very soon again. So that'll be up and running. So please, if you do enjoy, please push that notification button. And you will also see on my playlist some stuff on my football team as well, Manchester City. So if you or anyone you know is interested in that, please have a look at that. Lots of City stuff, Manchester City stuff, past, present, magazine vlogs, quizzes, book clubs, lots of different sort of magazine features on Manchester City, so please check that out. But if you're not overly worried about that, don't worry, there's loads of film and TV stuff. And if you're after friends or followers on Facebook and Twitter, I do post loads of film and TV stuff on there. So please seek me out on there. There's a couple of links on screen. I do check every 3 or 4 days and follow and friend everyone back on there. And all comments very welcome about this series. And it's an interesting series. It's got sort of splits opinions. It's not totally one or the other, but yeah, I mean, mainly positive. I'll tell you that now from people. So, but the subject matter obviously it does cause a few problems, but we'll get into that in a moment. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. If you haven't got time to leave us a comment, if you just give us a little thumbs up, that's great. I mean, it's nice to get views, but it's nice to get thumbs up. And I'm trying to get at least 10 for these film and TV channel vlogs, please. If you can just give us that thumbs up. It only takes a split second. It's nice to get them. It's nice to know you're out there and appreciate what I'm trying to do with these things anyway. So yeah, created by Little Marvin and executive producer is Lena Waithe on this one. It's 10 episodes and they do vary between, there's some at 35 minutes and there's the odd one at 50 minutes, so it's a bit up. I don't know all of these things. I don't quite understand why they're all different, but obviously with it being Amazon Prime, I suppose you can binge watch it all in one go. It doesn't really matter, does it? It's not there's no adverts appearing, so I suppose that's the reason behind it. But I do get confused sometimes. I think an episode's going on for quite a while, and then I look at it and it's 50 minutes, and then some episodes I think, oh, that's finished, and it's like 35 minutes. It just seems a bit odd, but hey, there you go. A second series is actually commissioned for this as well, so that was commissioned with the first, so the first 2 series have already been commissioned. It premiered on April the 9th, as I said, and it's set in 1953. Follows a black family who during the second Great Migration moved from North Carolina to an all-white neighbourhood in Los Angeles. Yeah, I mean, over here in the UK, it's not something I'm familiar with, that thing. The family's idyllic home slowly transforms into an epicentre of evil forces next door and otherworldly that threaten to haunt, ravage and destroy them. Yeah, it does go off on a bit of a kilter. It does still go from a simple moving sort of aspect to various horrors, etc. But so we'll get into that. The main cast: Deborah Yorinda as Livia Lucky Emery, Ashley Thomas as Henry Emery, Alison Pill as Betty Wendell, Shahida Wright Joseph as Ruby Lee Emery, Melody Hurd as Gracie Emery, and Ryan Quanton as George Bell. Is it any good? Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes, not bad. It's got a 66% positivity rating from the 30 critics, and it get an average of 6.59 out of 10, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not a bad score. The site's consensus reads, Deborah Ayorinde and Ashley Thomas' gripping performances help them sustain a sufficient sense of terror, but its blunt and bloody approach undermines any social commentary in favour of more superficial horrors. Yeah, so that's a positive and a little bit of a negative there, wasn't it? Metacritic, yeah. The series received a mixed rating, just 59 out of 100. So that's just a little bit below the watchable score. If you get 60 out of 100, I'm quite happy with that. But that's only 13 critics, and there was 5 positive and 8 mixed. So yeah, I can understand the 8 mixed, to be honest with you. And the actual scores from the various critics range anywhere between a 4 out of 10 and yes, 10 out of 10, which, as I say, is nothing's worth 10 out of 10, never ever, but there you go. So yeah, just have a look. The 4 out of 10, RogerEbbett.com, Nick Allen, writing for that organisation on April the 5th 2021, wrote, "Them can be an incredibly tenuous series, whether one tries to watch it as a brutal entertainment or as an ornately shockwave to honour traumatic experiences of racist violence in the past, present and future. In depicting all of its history with equal bluntness and style, Them too often raises the question of whether this is at all the very best way to be doing it." Yeah, not very complimentary. Brian Lowry on April the 8th 2021 for CNN gave it 60 out of 100, so that magical watchable figure. He said comparisons are inevitable to Peele's films and HBO's Lovecraft Country, but this 10-part Amazon anthology series proves provocative and bingeable while taking some questionable detours en route to its ultimate destination. Again, I can't disagree too much with that sort of summary either. Deciders Kayla Cobb on April the 5th 2021 gave it 9 out of 10. Yeah, I've ignored the 10 out of 10s as I don't take any heed of those. But 9 out of 10 is very good. Them is truly great bit of horror wrapped around a biting commentary about American racism. This narrative and acting excellence is consistently complemented by Them's beautiful camera work and inspired soundtrack. Yeah, interesting soundtrack to say the least, considering what we see on the screen or what we see on the TV. Internet Movie Database, yeah, per episode it's scoring anywhere between 7.4 and 7.9. Very high, a bit high for me, a little bit higher than I think anyway. Overall 6.9 out of 10, so a little bit down on that individual episode score, but that's based on almost 3,000 reviews as I'm recording this on the 12th of April 2021. That's based on 2,966, so 6.9 out of 10, that's not bad. So what about the good, the bad and the... So here we go, the good. Sean Holes on the 11th of April 2021, so yesterday as I'm doing this, gave it 9 out of 10 and said, masterful and layered, a must watch. He backed that up with, I don't think many would realise just how poignant and relevant this series really is. On the surface it plays out like an entertaining thriller horror of a family being terrorised by a new neighbourhood they've moved into. Deeper down though, it's a masterful allegory of the generational trauma that racism inflicts on a people, with an even deeper look at how it individually impacts each character. Quite deep. Incredible series, I must watch, he finishes with. And the bad, yeah, we've got Cairo Robinson on the 11th of April again, 2021. Just gave it 3 out of 10 and said, please do not compare this to Jordan Peele. There was a mention of that before, wasn't there? This is a sad attempt at a Peele-esque horror movie, yet it has absolutely none of the depth and only 1/5 of the writing talent. The actors are amazing. They make the best of what they're given to work with, but God, this show is awful. I'm a black woman. I appreciate the stories that can depict what black life was really like, while blending that into a supernatural horror element. When it's done well, like episode 9 of Lovecraft Country, I'm not familiar with that, and you might be, it's chef's kiss, but this seems like a failed attempt at a copy of Get Out. It lacks the symbolism, the complex dialogue and authenticity. And the middle one, someone gave it 5 out of 10. Frayed Jacket on the 11th of April 2021 said it got all messy. Again, I'm not going to disagree perhaps with that. They went on to say, stretched out to 10 episodes and could have been done in about 6. Thought the acting was good, but the plot got a bit too messy. Well, there we go. There's other people's views. What about my little Bernard's views for what it's worth? My views. Well, yeah, what a crazy series that was. Some good, some great elements, and some pretty awful ones, to be honest with you. Superbly shot and acted. This was great to watch from that point of view. Some of the storylines were powerful, and that's perhaps understating it. I mean, the word powerful perhaps doesn't do that justice. But some storylines were also a little bit needless and silly. Silly in a sort of dark way as well, not in a funny way. You certainly don't laugh at anything in this. But as it is basically a horror thriller, perhaps some of this is to be expected. You know, you don't always understand what's going on. It's a bit long-winded at times. I think think that critique said there, obviously 6 episodes would have been enough, but I don't think it is overly long. I wouldn't go as far as that. It's just the style of the thing. Some episodes do fly by, but I say it's nothing to do with being 35 minutes or 50 minutes, but others can drag a bit. So yeah, that doesn't help, does it? But obviously that does make a difference. At times it reverts to a good, powerful, gritty thriller that sort of follows I won't say simple storyline, but follows a formulaic storyline. And especially later in the series, you get as the build up of tension towards an inevitable climax at some stage, and there's a little feel at times of American Horror Story, which is one of my favourites at the moment. There's a little feel of that, not much, little style of that occasionally, but when it's well presented like it is, you're bound to get that, I think, in a thriller horror like this. Anyway, there's always a shock around the corner, and yes, there's the shouts of yes, good one, or oh my god, how can they? I mean, you go from one extreme to the other. You know, you obviously want to stick up for certain things, and you just cringe at other things that happen and despair at what's happening to some people on the screen. Overall, I was a little bit shocked by the early content. Probably numbed me a little bit for later on, actually. But I was a little too shocked by perhaps the early content to really like it early doors. I think it was just over the top for being over the top sake. I wasn't really that happy with it. But as it did progress, I became numb to it, or as it progressed, because I sort of began to enjoy it. That's not really the correct word to use with something like this, but yes, I did start to enjoy it. And the introduction of Christopher Hayadar, was also a help. I do like him in his roles he's played. He always plays a similar sort of role, but I do like anything he does. So the introduction of him did help this thing a bit as the thing moved along. Sadly though, I mean, the only real downer, probably affected the score just a little. My score just a little bit was just the last episode. I mean, it sort of built, and after some harrowing stuff which we had to suffer throughout the 10 episodes of this, I did want a bit of a better, more complete ending, and we didn't really get that. Without saying too much, I was a bit disappointed with the ending. I know we got a series 2, but I hate that. I hate endings where it's just left up in the air, and perhaps, all right, we've got a series 2, but I want something to come to some sort of conclusion. I don't like that, so it did ruin it a little bit for me. I mean, overall, sometimes I think it's a little bit too clever for its own good. I think it tries to be clever. It does use shock tactics. Some work, some just appear to be a little unnecessary, in my opinion. But throughout it all, it is watchable for some of the reasons, obviously, I've mentioned above, and some of the critique you've heard from other people. And I will look forward to series 2, but not with bated breath. I mean, if it never appears, I wouldn't be that bothered. But yeah, I will look forward to it and hope to watch it when it comes back on, and perhaps get a bit of closure on what's going on. Which, as I say, it's not a total disaster, that ending. But I think for me anyway, I don't like. But that's a personal thing anyway. Yeah, bit hit and miss. I think someone said that, didn't they? Bit hit and miss. But yeah, watchable. It is watchable. But only if you've got, obviously, if you're prepared to very violent scenes, etc., and scenes of really bad racism, etc., etc. So if that's not your cup of tea, then please steer clear. But yeah, I will give it my watchable rating. I'm not going to go any higher than that. As I said, I was a little disappointed. I was a little bit shocked at the start. I was a little bit unhappy. I did get into it, and then I was a bit let down by the end. So I'm not going to give it more than a 6 out of 10. But if you get to watch this, please let me know what you think. I'd love to hear what your views on this one is, because it is one that does get a few. There's a lot of positives. As I said, some of the Internet Movie Database, a lot of 10 out of 10s on there as well, which is say I don't take any heed of, obviously. But there's a lot of people appreciated what this tried to do. But I thought some of it was a little bit unnecessary, but hey, there you go. So I'll give it 6 out of 10. Anyway, thanks for watching. Whatever you're going to do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. Till we meet here again on the Film and TV channel, or perhaps ever flit across, have a look at my Citizen channel, my football channel, wherever it is. All I ever ask is please stay safe, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.